All right, let's see if we can do 2 videos in one day. We're going to do the long-awaited PowerApps intro. We just wrapped up the second Power Automate video, so if you haven't checked that out, I would recommend it. But yeah, let's go into PowerApps. So PowerApps is similar to Power Automate in that when you first go to start, you have a couple of options. You can use a template or you can start from scratch. With PowerApps, I strongly recommend if you're just starting, start using a template. I was hoping to do Excel on this video, but I'm still learning that one. Just a quick plug. Microsoft puts intro videos right in context for you here. I've used SharePoint PowerApps quite a few times, so I'm going to go ahead and use a SharePoint data set. But what you'll see is the experience for these 3 templates. It's very similar. The only distinction is where your data lives. So I already have some data in SharePoint. I'm going to start there. And it's really as simple as that. So you kind of get started. You have to tell it where your data lives. So I've got a couple of SharePoint sites. We are going to use this one. And you can have document libraries or lists. I think technically they both kind of look like lists when you come through here. I have a list that I actually created from an Excel file. It's a good starting point. I'm also going to weave that into my my Power Automate video series as well. So just one last plug for that Power Automate series. So we're going to pull up this list of resumes. These are the resumes that we've received for our resume review service. We're going to use PowerApps to kind of help keep on top of our review process and ensure that we have some kind of good, rich data as it relates to how well we provide the service. So this is really just, it's super fast. So all of this information came directly from the data that I have in the SharePoint list. And the template itself creates 3 pages. So PowerApps is kind of very oriented around kind of the perspective that a user of a given app would have when they interact with it. So each page represents a page that the user will be able to navigate through. These templates are really powerful because this 3-page template gives you kind of a landing page, which is what we see here. It then gives you a secondary page to view a record, so a record in the SharePoint list that we're using within this example. And then the 3rd page is the edit or add page, which is also really useful. So before we go into those second pages, I'm going to adjust the information seen here. One, so I can kind of remove the censoring here that's associated with some the names of the people that have sent me their resumes. So you can't see it, but you also shouldn't see it in this video. So I accidentally clicked on a record. So what we can do here is if we were to interact with this first record, it would almost kind of enable us to tweak the format for all of the records in the list. So I'm going to double click. Okay, so this kind of activates this pane. This is again the first primary record that we will use to edit how we want this gallery to look. So you'll see it's created a gallery object. We're not going to go into the details there because again this is an entry level video. But what I want to do is I want to edit the fields that are shown here. Not just for the purposes of this video, but also within the app itself. It's probably just ideal to make the information as streamlined as possible. So these are the fields directly from the SharePoint list. And what I can do is I can change the fields that are shown here. let's see, I think the first field should probably be, let's go with their current degree. So this is either the degree that they're working on or a degree that they've just finished. And then for this subtitle, the ID isn't super helpful, although I may include it. Let's go with the concentration of their current degree. And then, yeah, let's keep this the date, because this is the date that the person sent me the resume, which is an indicator to me on how quickly I need to respond. Okay, so just like that, we were able to edit this default gallery to have more useful fields. And what you see here is that all of the records follow the template that we just assigned. So what I'll do is I'll shrink this a little bit. That way we can see more records at once. I don't have a whole lot of information here that I'm displaying, so it's perfectly fine. These icons are kind of pre-programmed. They do what you would imagine, right? This refreshes the data set, this helps you sort, and this helps you add a new record. Okay, so that's all we're going to edit on this screen. We can hold the Alt button and then interact with the app to go to one of the next screens. So I'm holding the Alt key, clicking there, and that's what brings us to this detail screen. So this is that secondary screen, which it shows us some more information. These are the kind of the fields that I input when I'm updating the app. When I'm updating the records to reflect the information about a given resume that I'm reviewing. I'm not going to edit this, although I am going to censor that out in the video. But then, so the next field that we're going to do, okay, so you can see right there, this is just cursor over this edit button. This is me holding the Alt key, so you can see that it's interactive. This brings us to the final page, the edit page. So what I can do here is when I'm in the process of reviewing a resume, I can update the date that I reviewed it. I can edit the amount of time that it took. So this is minutes. And then this is just contextual information about the resume itself. And let's say I want to interact with the app as if a user would. So it takes me straight to the same screen. But let's just pretend that, it only took me it actually took me 9 minutes to review this resume. So hit edit, hit save, and you can see the record updates. And it actually updates all the way back to the source, so to the SharePoint list where this data lives originally. So I think that's enough for an intro. Obviously, we'll probably do subsequent videos on this. I believe that the templated apps work exactly the same way if your data comes from Excel or SharePoint or Dataverse. But I've only tested Dataverse and SharePoint. I attempted Excel and was not successful. So I will try again and hopefully get to include that in a subsequent video. All right. I was going to wrap it up, but it might be helpful for us to publish. So I'll go ahead and save the app, give it a name. Okay. And then I believe this is the publish button. Yep. We're going to go ahead and publish this. So we're going to click there. I can give it a custom icon if I want. I think I have to go to edit details to add a custom icon. Can adjust the orientation. I think I'm going to keep mine in portrait. Seems to work best. Maybe I'll do it from a phone. Okay, so here's how I go to edit the icon of the app. Oh, look at this. So many icons. Okay, so which one of these feels appropriate for a resume review app? Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Big fan of red, so let's do red. Icon fill is white. Autosave. So this kind of is a app level setting that enables you to autosave when you're editing. But I think we're good there. So that's it. Let's go ahead and publish this. Publish. And just like that, we're done. All right. Well, thanks everybody.